everyone, Angel here. I figured I would go on a new live and give you guys a bit of a health update. I know that you've probably been seeing me live everywhere. It's been awesome and amazing all in the same all at the same time, but because I started this journey with you guys, what are we now? Whew, Lyme hit me in October or September. October, I think it was. It's become a blur. It seems like it's a never ending thing, but yet I know about it every day. So, wanted to come on here. Interesting time in the middle of the day. Just felt like giving an update. I know a lot of people are working, probably out, may not be able to jump on and see this live. So, as I'm talking about what's going on, you see this down the road or whatever. Like I said before, feel free to reach out, ask me any questions, and just that if you feel like it. So we are at, let's see, October, November, December, January. Roughly 3 to 4 months since my diagnosis with Lyme disease, and also 3 to 4 months since I have been on the antibiotics. So, still going good with the antibiotics. I'm trying to say if it's really been affecting me any. I have a bit of a stomach situation because of the antibiotics, which is no surprise. I expected to have stomach issues with taking the antibiotics for such a long time. And honestly, I have been struggling to find some type of detox that works or one that makes sense. So I know I'd asked you guys for some, options and things that may help me with the antibiotics to clear out my stomach and everything. So if you have any, really good detox regimens for Lyme, for just overall health, put them in the comments. Shoot me a message. I would really like to look into them. The problem I'm having with all of these detox programs is, number one, they're expensive. Number two, there's so many things that people want you to take. So many pills, so many shakes, or fasting this. There's just so much information out there that it's overwhelming. And I'm the type of person that when I get overwhelmed, I shut down. So looking for some direction. I asked my doctor and really didn't give me what I was looking for. So I think that's the biggest thing I'm struggling with right now is just detoxing with all the antibiotics going through my body, making sure my digestive system is working better. And when I come off the antibiotics, hopefully everything is good and clear and it'll make things a lot easier for me. So about coming off the antibiotics, I'm scared. So scared to come off the antibiotics. As you remember, I jumped off of it for 3 days and all the symptoms came back and I freaked out. So I'm leery to get off of them again. However, I do know that I have to get off of the antibiotics. So I believe I may have 3 to 4 more weeks of antibiotics. And then once those run their course, I may near the end start to taper off because right now I'm taking 2 a day. I may in the last 2 weeks drop down to 1 a day and then completely wean myself off of the antibiotics. And then we'll see what happens from there. Hopefully I got everything and I'm good. Worst case scenario, it's lingering and then I have to go see a Lyme specialist, but it happens. So other health things that are going on with me. The last time I was on here, I talked about the tinnitus that I've had now for 2 years, on and off, roughly. It gets worse at night, better during the day because I'm busy. I guess my mind's off of it. Finally talked to an ENT. He scheduled me for 2 MRIs next week. So I'll be getting a MRI on my brain, my neck, and then a angiogram/plasty. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I think they want to look at the vein that goes into my ear here, the carotid artery, I suspect, to make sure there's no blockage. So prayers for me. for next week since I will be having those two MRIs. They're pretty intensive and pretty long. So the MRI on Tuesday, I blocked off between 1 and 4, and then the same on Thursday. So two MRIs next week for the tinnitus to see what's going on. And some interesting news that kind of came out of my ENT. I've been telling you guys that probably 2.5 years ago, around July of 2019, that I suspected I had a massive anxiety slash panic attack. And the ENT, when I talked to him and told him everything that had happened and my symptoms, he said, well, I actually think you may have had a small stroke. So freaked me out. No, it happened. It's over. I'm past it. But just to think that that may have been what happened to me, and I've really not taken the time to look at it, kind of bothers me, because they say if you have these small, strokes, attacks, that they could lead to a bigger one and have a full-on stroke. So that kind of freaked me out. But he told me that the MRI that they're going to be taking next week should show that, and then go to a neurologist and see what happens from there. So the anxiety was brought on. If that was a small stroke, then the anxiety kind of stemmed from that, and then it was just rolling downhill forever. I kind of sat with myself and said, do I want to know if I had a stroke? Does it make me feel any better, any worse? And I've really come to the point where I'm like, yes, I need to know what happened to me. I need to know exactly, when, where, all that stuff. Is just how I am. So hopefully I'll be able to get some answers to my questions. If I did have a stroke, I had a little small blip maybe 2 months ago where it felt like I couldn't remember what I was saying, and I kind of chalked that up to the Lyme, but it may be some after effects of this. I had a little bit of, numbness in my face and down here and over here, had numbness in my arm. And ironically, a lot of those symptoms mimicked like anxiety. So I just chalked it up as being anxiety and didn't even think twice about it. So I'm glad he said something, and hopefully with this MRI, I'll be able to get some results. I'm also going to have a hearing test done since I've had this tinnitus for a very long time. We just need to see if it's affected my hearing in any way. And, then we'll be able to, make some decisions on what that looks like. My tinnitus is, and I'm going to probably say this wrong, but it's pulsatile, I think is how it's pronounced. And it's pulsating at times with my heartbeat. So to the ENT, he thinks that there's some kind of pressure or something pushing on something in my ear or towards my brain that is causing my heartbeat to be heard in my ear. Who knows? The MRI should show us, and then probably by the end of the month I should have some results. So MRI for that. Going to have my ears checked out. And then the other thing he said that I thought was interesting, and I'm kind of laying it out here for you guys if any of you decide to watch this, and it might be something that you think about. But it just had a lot of random things. I told you my tongue was swelling, and obviously the tinnitus and numbness and things like that. And he had asked me if I had had my iron levels tested. And of course I was like, yeah, of course I've had my iron levels tested. That's like the thing that they do when they test everyone's levels. And he's like, well, check with your primary care manager, just see. Because the last time I had all my blood work and lab work done, it was a huge thing. So I went ahead and checked with my primary care manager, and she said, no, we have never tested your iron levels. So I was like, oh, interesting. I would have thought that was one of the things that you test all the time. But be aware, apparently it's not. So if you go to the doctors and they run a full gambit of tests on you, 9 times out of 10, you're not getting your iron tested. And for females, especially, iron and vitamin D are very important. So I have to go again and get my iron levels tested. But the thing that was crazy, when he said that to me, I started looking up iron deficiency. And it's like, gosh, heart palpitations, which I've been having, swollen tongue, which I've been having, um, increased energy, which I've been having, tingling, like a lot of stuff is iron deficiency. So maybe that's what's been going on with a lot of the things in my body that just no one has said, outside of the Lyme, of course, that could be, the fix. So I'm going to go have those, my iron levels tested. And then I'm also going to have all my B vitamins tested too. For females, another thing that's very important. And because I had jumped on keto for a long time, and Kevin and I really aren't eating red meat, the iron deficiency kind of rings a bell in my head. And I'm like, oh, maybe I am iron deficient, because a lot of people are. So it's another test I'll be having in the next week or two. So by the end of the month, I should be almost done my antibiotics. I should have had my results from my MRIs, my lab work back, and hopefully a good picture of what's going on with me from a more direct physical, a doctor telling me. But besides that, you guys have seen I've been moving forward with my brand, still doing my wellness, still doing my lives, doing my bracelets, and I've been working on my website to bring all of it together. So it's kept me busy and excited finally on something that I've wanted to do and I enjoy, kind of taking my mind off of everything else that was going on. And because I'm live again, and some of you may see this who didn't see my other two lives, I really want to stress that information I have received yesterday, it really has changed my life into the thoughts of the pain. Before, when I would feel a pain, if it was my heart palpitations, if it was my numbness or anything, my first thoughts were that I'll be honest with you, when I started having my heart palpitations, it went to, I'm going to die from a heart attack. I'm having a heart attack. And up went my anxiety. When I was having the pains in my jaw, it was, oh, Lyme disease, it's hitting me again. Oh, I'm, this, that, and the other. And every little ache and pain that I felt in my body, I went to 100 with it. And that's just how I am. I'm an anxious person, and I am getting older. So I'm doomsday worst case scenario. But what the information I had gathered was from a anxiety coach, and I'll put his information to Missy Fight. She was the one who actually shared this with me. And what he said was, stop letting your body dictate your mind. Your mind dictates your body. And holy crap, did that just make me stop and think about everything I've been thinking about in the past 2-3 years and rewire myself. Now, when I feel a pain, I'm like, okay, yep, it's in my shoulder. I sat wrong. Let's go do a stretch. Let's feel better. Instead of, oh, it's a pain. I have degenerative disc disease, and in 3 years, I'm going to have MS and another autoimmune disease, and there we go. Instead of going to the worst case scenarios, I'm now looking at each pain, each symptom in a different way. And hopefully, I am hopeful, really, that that's going to change how I'm feeling, my mindset, and just my wellness attitude overall with my own personal health. So I really want all of you out there that have been dealing with these type of things to kind of put that first in your mind when you think about a pain or anything that you have. Think about it as an actual thing. Like, be mindful of it. Talk about it. Figure out where it's coming from. One thing Christy said when I had her on my Facebook Live for mindfulness was that your body's trying to tell you something. It could be stress from years ago. It could be something you're still holding on to. You're still haven't dealt with. So really, once again, I deplore all of you guys, or implore, I don't know, I might have said that wrong, but to really sit with yourselves. Think about everything that's going on. Write it down. And then, like when my shaman, when I had my journey, said, write down the pains, write down all your problems and burn them. Like, just that freeing of anything. Just get rid of it. And hey, maybe it comes back in a day or two. Write it down and burn it again. Like, just get it out of your mind, and then hopefully your body will follow. And I really believe on that spiritual journey for myself, that that will be what happens for me in the future. And then, of course, I want to give back to everyone. And I'm so happy that my Live Well Wednesdays have been taking off. And I'm so happy that bracelet sales are still going on. And I just have so much to look forward to. And I thank all of you for watching, supporting me, liking, posting, sharing. And please, 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 please do that, because although one thing I may be saying to you right now may not resonate, it may with somebody else, one of your friends, one of your family members. And I am always open. My door is open. If you want to talk about anything, any family member issues you're having, any pains, any anxiety, it helps me to talk to you just as much as it will help you to talk to me. I'm not a licensed anything. I'm not a doctor. I'm just an average person who has been dealing with a lot of emotional stress, trauma, disease, autoimmune, just a lot in my life. And I want to talk to people, work with people, and just, be well together. And I think that is going to catapult us as humans into the future, because we are now definitely looking at ourselves more. We're taking better care of ourselves. We're looking at our wellness from every angle, and writing it down, putting it into some type of plan to do better. And I'm excited for the next years to come once COVID releases and we get back into some normalcy, that new normal will include wellness exponentially for everyone. So I'm very happy about that. And I want to be a part of that. I want to be the next, journey for people into wellness. And all of this I've been through is just going to push me and lead me up to that. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for following me and talking to me. If you have any ideas of anything I would, you think I should bring up, or that you want to talk about, or you've heard other people struggling with, leave a comment, shoot me a message, give me a call. My phone number is somewhere on Facebook, I'm sure. Send me a text message. I really want to talk to you and hear from you. And in this day and age that we can video chat like this, let's do it. Like, let's put smiles on each other's faces when we see, like when I saw Sam last night for my Live Well Wednesday, her yoga, I had not seen Sam face to face. I mean, granted, yes, it's still electronically, but it's a little bit better than just over the phone. I hadn't seen her face to face in probably 20 years, but it was just like we picked right back up where we had been 20 years ago. And that is just the power of relationships and humanity in general. So thank you all again. Little update on what's going with me. Lots of medical appointments. I will keep you guys abreast to that. Thank you for asking. A lot of you have asked how I'm doing, so I wanted to come on here, just give an update. Go ahead and if you have a chance, please watch my Live Well Wednesdays. They're fun. They're great, and I'm giving away some free stuff. So watch when I do that. If you watch them, you'll see little things here and there that I'm giving away for free for my viewers. Like, comment, share, and you'll get entered into the drawing. I'll kind of give it away. Giving away one of Sam's books from last night, Yoga for Chronic Pain WTF. Great title. I mean, really, it's awesome. And if you didn't check out, there's Sam down there at the bottom making this amazing yoga pose. She's awesome. She's a badass female, and I really, admire her and everything she's gone through and she's working on. So thanks again, everyone. Just an update, and leave me any messages. Reach out. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll talk soon. Bye.